For 24 years, I watched my brothers and sisters become parents. I held their babies. I changed their diapers. I built their cribs. I smiled for the cameras and said, I'm so happy for you. And I was happy. But deep down, I was wondering when it would be my turn. I was the single brother, the guy who built houses but didn't have anyone to fill them. I spent nights praying in an empty living room, asking God if he had forgotten me. But guys, God doesn't forget. He just waits for the perfect timing. And today, the wait is finally over. Keep watching because I'm about to share the biggest secret I've ever kept. The tears, the surprise, and the moment my entire world changed with two little pink lines. My name is Jason Duggar, and I am finally a dad. Growing up in a family of 19 kids, you never really feel alone until you do. When Jed got married and then Jeremiah, I felt a shift. Suddenly the boys' room was empty. The noise was gone. I would come home from a long day at a construction site covered in sawdust, and there was nobody there to ask me how my day was. I remember one Christmas looking around the living room. Everyone had a spouse. Everyone had a baby on their lap. And I was just holding a cup of coffee. It's hard not to compare yourself. You start thinking, is there something wrong with me? Am I not ready? It was a season of silence. But looking back, I realized that silence was necessary. It was preparing me for Maddie. Then, out of nowhere, she walked in, Maddie Grace. I'm not going to lie. The first time I saw her, I forgot how to speak English. She was beautiful, yes. But she had this piece about her. She didn't care about the TV show. She didn't care about my last name. She just saw Jason. Our courtship wasn't like the ones you saw on TV. We didn't have a camera crew following us on dates. We walked through parks. We sat on tailgates and talked for hours about everything, faith, future, family. I knew within 2 weeks. I called my dad and said, I'm done looking. She's the one. Marrying her was the easiest decision of my life. After the wedding, the questions started immediately. So, when's the baby coming? Are you guys expecting it? People mean well. In our family, you get married and 9 months later, there's a baby. That's the pattern. But for us, it didn't happen right away. Month 1 passed. Month 3, we were happy just being a couple, enjoying our time together. We traveled, we worked on our house, but there was this tiny voice in the back of my head. What if we can't? I saw Maddie looking at baby clothes in the store and then quickly walking away. I knew she wanted just as much as I did. We decided to stop stressing and just trust. It was a Tuesday morning. Nothing special. Maddie had been feeling off for a few days. Tired, a little sick. I was getting ready for work, putting on my boots. She called me from the bathroom. Jason, her voice sounded weird, not scared, but shaky. I walked to the door. She was holding a little stick. My heart stopped. I mean, literally stopped beating for a second. I looked at her face. She wasn't smiling yet. She was just staring at it in shock. What does it say? I ask. My throat was dry. She turned it around. 2-line pink. Unmistakable. I don't even remember moving, but suddenly I was hugging her. We were jumping up and down in our bathroom at 6:00 a.m., laughing and crying at the same time. We're having a baby. I'm going to be a dad. I had to go to work that day, but I was useless. I was hammering nails into the wrong boards. I was smiling at random strangers. I kept pulling the test out of my pocket. We put it in a Ziploc bag just to make sure the lines were still there. It felt like I was carrying a diamond in my pocket. The world looked brighter. The sky looked bluer. I realized that my life wasn't just about me anymore. It was about us. We knew we couldn't keep it a secret for long. In our family, secrets have a way of getting out. So we decided to tell mom and dad first. We went over to the big house on a Friday night. It was loud, kids running everywhere, pizza boxes on the counter, just classic Duggar chaos. We pulled him into the office, the only quiet room in the house. Maddie was shaking. I was grinning like an idiot. We handed mom a small gift bag. Inside was a tiny pair of work boots, like construction boots, but for an infant. Mom pulled them out. She looked at the boots. She looked at me. She looked at Maddie. And then, you serious? Dad started clapping me on the back so hard I almost fell over. Seeing their faces, it made it real. I wasn't just Jason anymore. I was going to be a father just like him. Saji meant 70. The heartbeats, 130, 2500, direction soft, awe struck. The miracle moment, but nothing, and I mean nothing, prepares you for the sound of the heartbeat. We went in for the first ultrasound at 8 weeks. The room was dark. The gel was cold. Maddie complained about that. The technician moved the wand around, silence, and then swish, swish, swish. It sounded like a galloping horse, fast, strong. I stared at the screen. There was this tiny little peanut-shaped blob. That was my child. I felt tears running down my face before I even realized I was crying. I squeezed Maddie's hand. She was sobbing. In that dark room, listening to that rhythm, I made a promise to that little blob. I promised I would protect him. I promised I would build him the best treehouse in Arkansas. I promised I would be there. Saji Minty 80. The gender reveal plan, 2500, 2080, 30, direction, energetic, planning mode, the construction worker side coming out. No, you guys know me. I'm a contractor. I build things. I blow things up sometimes. So for the gender reveal, I didn't want just a cake. I wanted something explosive. We debated for weeks. Maddie wanted confetti. I wanted smoke bombs. We compromised smoke bombs and confetti. We planned it for a Sunday afternoon in the big field behind the house. We invited everyone, and I mean everyone, siblings, in-laws, nieces, nephews. The pressure was on. We gave the envelope from the doctor to my sister, Joy and Anna. She was the keeper of the gender. She went to the store to buy the smoke bombs. I remember asking her, Joy, don't mess this up. If pink smoke comes out for a boy, I'm never going to hear the end of it. Sajimenti 19. The gathering storm said 20, 30, 32 hoes in direction, suspenseful, building tension. The atmosphere of the party, the day of the reveal, the weather was perfect, sunny, clear blue sky, but I was a nervous wreck. What if the smoke bomb didn't go off? What if it was a dud? The family started arriving. Cars were lining up down the driveway. It felt like a festival. Jessa was filming. Jed was setting up his drone. The little kids were running around betting their allowance. It's a girl. No, it's a boy. Maddie looked stunning in this floral dress, but she whispered to me, I think I'm going to throw up. Me too. I whispered back. We stood in the middle of the field. The cameras were rolling. The drone was buzzing overhead. Joy handed us the canisters. They were wrapped in black tape so we couldn't see the color label. This was it. A Saji Tementianain. It's a third 200, 35 and 30 of direction. The climax, high energy, shouting pure celebration. I held the canister in my right hand. Maddie held hers in her left. Dad started the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2. I pulled the pin. PSSEHT. A thick cloud exploded out. For a split second, it looked white. Then BLE, bright electric BLE smoke failure. AOI. The field erupted. The boys started to tackle me. I think Jeremiah actually jumped on my back. I looked through the blue fog and saw Maddie laughing, wiping blue powder off her cheek. A son. I was having a son. A little Jason. A legacy. I picked Maddie up and spun her around right there in the smoke. It was the best moment of my life. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Names. In my family, the letter J isn't just a letter. It's a lifestyle. Jim Bob, David, Jill, Jessa Jinger, Joseph, Josiah, Joanna, Jedidiah, Jeremiah, Jason, James, Justin, Jackson, Johanna, Jennifer, Jordan, Josie. I mean, are there even any J names left? Maddie and I sat down with a baby name book. We opened to the J section. Jacob taken, Jonathan, too close to John, David, Jordan. That's my sister, Jordan. We were laughing so hard we were crying. We realized that if we wanted a J name, we were going to have to get creative or maybe break the tradition. We debated it for weeks. Do we start our own letter? Maybe M for Maddie, maybe C for Christ. But then we found it. One night I was reading a scripture and a name just jumped off the page. It started with a J. I looked at Maddie. She nodded. That's the one, she said. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You'll have to wait for the birth video. Most dads go to the store and buy a crib, but I'm a Duggar and I'm a contractor. Buying a crib felt like cheating. I wanted to build my son's first bed with my own 2 hands. I went out to the workshop. I picked out the wood, solid oak, strong, durable. For 3 weeks, every evening after work, I was out there sanding, scratch, scratch. I wanted it to be perfect. No sharp edges, no loose screws. I imagined him sleeping in it. I imagined him jumping in it when he got older. So I was sorry, Maddie. As I was staining the wood, the smell of the varnish filled the garage. It was quiet, just me and the wood. I realized I wasn't just building furniture. I was building a sanctuary. When I finally put it in the nursery right next to the window, it looked better than anything in a magazine because it was made with love. But pregnancy isn't just cute nurseries and name games. At 28 weeks, we had a night I never want to relive. It was 2:00 a.m. Maddie woke me up. Jason, she whispered, something's wrong. She was in pain, real pain, not just a kick or a cramp. We didn't wait. I threw on my clothes. I grabbed the keys. We drove to the ER in silence. Every bump in the road felt like an earthquake. I was praying out loud, driving with one hand and holding hers with the other. The triage nurse couldn't find the heartbeat immediately. Those 30 seconds were an eternity. The silence in that room was deafening. I thought about the crib I just built. I thought about the blue smoke. Please, God, I beg it. Not now. Not him. Thump, thump, slower than usual. But there, the doctor came in. Everything was okay. Just a scare. Just dehydration and stress. But walking out of that hospital at 5:00 a.m., the sunrise looked different. I realized how fragile this all was. After the scare, the baby shower felt like a victory lap. My sisters organized it. They went all out. Blue balloons everywhere. A cake that looked like a construction site cute, right? It was amazing to see all the guys there too. Usually showers are just for the ladies, but we did a co-ed one. My brothers gave me the worst advice imaginable. Jed told me, sleep now because you'll never sleep again. Thanks, Jed. Jeremiah gave me a tool belt filled with diapers and wipes. Actually, that was pretty genius. Sitting there, opening gifts, tiny onesies, little hard hats, blankets made by grandma, I felt overwhelmed. This kid, he wasn't even born yet, and he was already loved by 100 people. He was going to have 19 aunts and uncles ready to spoil him. I looked around the room and thought, yeah, he's going to be okay. Week 38, the go time zone, the bag is packed. Sitting by the front door like a sentry. I've checked it 5 times. Maddie's robe, check. Snacks, check. Camera battery, charged. The outfit for him to come home in, check. I installed the car seat yesterday. I watched 3 YouTube tutorials just to make sure I did it right. Then I had my dad come check it. Then I had David check it. It's locked and tight. Every time Maddie makes a noise, I jump. Is it time? We are living on the edge of our seats. The nursery is ready. The crib is empty, waiting for its occupant. We are just waiting for the starter pistol. Any day now. My son is coming home. You always think you're ready until it actually happens. It was 3:15 a.m. on a Thursday. Maddie sat up in bed and gasped, Jason, it's time. I didn't even ask questions. I was out of bed like a shot. I grabbed the bags. I grabbed the pillow. I almost forgot my shoes. The drive to the hospital was surreal. The roads were empty. The world was asleep. But inside our car, it was pure chaos. Maddie was breathing through contractions. Hee-hoo. Hee-hoo. I was trying to drive safely, but also quickly, very quickly. You're doing great, babe. I kept saying, just breathe. We're almost there. We pulled up to the emergency entrance. I parked the truck crookedly. Sorry, security. I helped her into a wheelchair. There's no turning back now. Labor is intense. I have so much respect for women. Seriously, ours passed. The sun came up. The doctors came in and out. Maddie was a warrior. She squeezed my hand so hard I thought she broke a finger. Totally worth it. And then the moment, one more push, Maddie, the doctor said. She gave everything she had, and then I heard it. A cry loud. Angry. Beautiful. They placed him on her chest. He was tiny. He was red. He had dark hair. I looked at him, and my knees went weak. I touched his little hand. His fingers curled around my pinky immediately. Hi, buddy, I whispered. I'm your dad. The room faded away. It was just the three of us. The perfect triangle. Oh, of course, in a Duggar family, you don't stay a trio for long. About 2 hours later, the floodgates opened. Mom and Dad were first. Mom cried, oh, obviously. Dad beamed. Then the siblings. Joy, Anna rushed in. Let me see him. Let me see him. James and Justin were fighting over who got to hold him next. Even little Josie was standing on her tiptoes trying to peek into the bassinet. Seeing my big, loud, crazy family suddenly go quiet as they looked at this tiny baby. It was magic. He was passed from arm to arm. He was already part of the tribe. He had 19 bodyguards before he was even a day old. I stood back and watched. My heart felt like it was going to explode. Okay. I know you guys have been waiting for this. We debated the J name for months. We looked at every option, but we kept coming back to one. It's strong. It's classic. And it honors both of our families. So world, meet my son, Judah. Judah Garrett Duggar. Judah means praise, and that's exactly what we feel. Praise to God for this gift. And Garrett is a nod to our family history. It fits him perfectly, doesn't it? Little Judah, he's got my nose, a poor kid in Maddie's eyes, so thank goodness. Welcome to the world, Judah. As I hold him now, recording this, he's asleep on my chest. His little breaths are the best sound I've ever heard. My life has changed forever. The construction sites, the houses, the projects, none of it matters as much as this. I have a new job title now, Dad, and it's the best job I've ever had. Thank you guys for praying for us. Thank you for waiting with us. Thank you for loving us through the quiet seasons and the loud ones. This is just the beginning for our little family of 3. I can't wait to show you him growing up. I can't wait to build that treehouse. I'm Jason Duggar. This is Judah Duggar, and we are signing off. See you in the next vlog.